Okay. Okay, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Danville Board of Directors. It's 5 o'clock, Monday, June the 20th, and we are part remote, part in person, and so we're going to call ourselves out. My name is Clayton Cargill. I'm the chair of the Danville School Board. Dave? Him, I can't hear. All right, you're muted.
Dave Toll, Vice Chair.
One of the others, Melissa Mull?
Molly Gleason, clerk.
Melissa Conley, board member. I also just got a text from Tim that said he's in, but he's in the participant side.
Oh, he's the 272?
Yeah, he did call, he called in, so that must be Tim.
Oh, that's it on the phone? Okay, yeah. So we can't promote a, I don't think we can promote a phone.
Oh, looks like he's in now.
Well, yeah, he's not, I need no visibility to talk, so.
Okay, so we have.
Can you
Tim-
hear me now?
Okay, Tim, and that's Tim Sanborn, and he is also a board member? Okay, so we're all good, we're all in, we're all good, and we have a couple, oh, we also have Larry Fliegelman, incoming school principal, who's our physical presence at the school. Do you have any public there, Larry?
No, no public.
All right, great, and Mark Tucker's here, the superintendent. Okay, so first order of board business here is we're going to discuss briefly the 2022 through 2024 ESP contract, which has just been agreed to tentatively by the Negotiations Council and the ESP unions for Twinfield, Cabot, but also for the CCEA. And we're going to discuss whether or not we want to ratify that. And so I'm going to turn it over briefly to Mark, who's probably going to turn it over right back to me. We're going to talk about it. And he sent you an email with a lot of the details as it pertains specifically Danville, and a separate email that you also got that discussed specifically the cost impact at Danville for the coming year. Did all of you get those? Did you guys have a chance to look through those? Does anybody have any questions for Mark about the impact financially? Or does anybody have any specific questions about the specific things that we did for the CCEA to finish this negotiation? I'm happy to explain. Mark's happy to explain. So I'm going to open the floor up for questions if anybody has any. If nobody has any, I'll explain just for Larry's benefit that previous to this, all of our CCEA support staff were afforded a duty-free lunch. And that as part of what we did in this is we have now arranged that they have a duty-free paid lunch. And that's probably the major thing that got changed in this. And this was a way to sort of move things along and give a substantial increase to everybody across the board without necessarily changing rates. Additionally, we added a column in the CCEA for the support staff. We added a column 11 to 14 years, and then a column at the end of that made the maximum 15 plus, so that our veteran employees, that our veteran paras and our veterans that have been there for more than 15 years in the second year will receive an increase specific to them, and it's sort of a pay for service and sort of a way to help keep the backbone of the building in place of our support staff. And the union asked for that, and we found it a valuable addition, and that's in the second year only. There were three small increases that sort of made much more similar the pay rate between CCEA support staff and Twinfield Cabot support staff, and that was in kitchen staff worker, front desk, administrative assistant, and bus driver. And I think that covers what we did primarily. Would you agree, Mark?
Yeah, good summary.
Okay, and so that has been negotiated. That's going to be bounced around the room several times tonight at several meetings. And I think we have a recusal, and then I'll open it up for any discussion. Dave?
Yeah, to be transparent, my wife is a support staff at Danville School, so I'll recuse myself from the vote.
Okay. All right, is there any discussion? Incoming Sarah Welch for attendance purposes. Sarah Welch. Anybody discussion? Would anybody care to make a motion? Anybody who hasn't recused themselves or isn't me, would anybody care to make a motion to ratify this agreement for Danville between the CCEA support staff and the Danville School District.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I need a second.
I will second.
Tim Sanborn, thank you,
Tim.
sir. Is there any further discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of ratifying this tentative agreement to a permanent agreement between the CCEA Teachers Union and the Danville School District, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye as well, with one recusal. Thank you very much. We're going to close that one out. The next item on the agenda here, real quick, this is the renovation project publicity. And you got an email from me, and I think you got one from Mark as well. Did you? I forwarded yours, I think. We asked Truex Collins at our last meeting to do something very specific that was not previously identified as work that they didn't bid out. They had a specific bid process once. We went back and we had a specific bid process the second time. And that second set of bids was to get us through one complete set of drawings, straight through to the vote. This specific action to make a video, to have Cam Featherston all come back out and make a video and do a walkthrough and do a lot more specific things wasn't in either of the agreements. And so what he asked for in writing was basically some, what was the word I used a minute ago? A retainer to work against so that he could bill for hours. And so this 7,500 he's asking for isn't 7,500 that we're definitely spending. This is 7,500 up to 7,500 potentially to spend to make sure that as we take this through committee and we take this through town, where we need Truex Collins to give us support, and that would be either with engineering or with publicity or with really specific color coded drawings and going back to the drawing board sort of things, that we have this covered without additional action. And so what I'd like to do now is open that up for discussion amongst anybody, any board members. Dave Toll.
Question. Okay, so there's like $4.9 million for incidentals and fees and stuff like that.
No, as of this exact moment, there's nothing for incidentals because that hasn't been agreed to. That would have to be voted on by the voters as part of a bond vote. And so what we're talking about now is the first 400 and the second 64,000, the second 62,000, I think it was.
Okay.
And then this is really specifically just for the work that we're asking them to do and the work that we may yet ask them to do. But in terms of that 4.9 million as a contingency as part of the 70 million or 60 million or 71 million, that contingency money would only be available in the event that the town agreed to the vote and that somebody else put through a bid process. But that,
Okay, thank you. I just thought it was important to get it on the record that so in case anybody had any questions about it, because someone asked me a question and we have it on the record and you explained it perfectly. Thank you.
yes, sir. Okay.
And if I could just comment, I don't believe, it's a $7,500 retainer. It's not going to cost us $7,500 for him to work with us and do the video. There's some contingency and there may be some other publicity things. We might have asked him to come out for another tour in person, whatever. So it's a chunk of money, but the immediate work ahead of us is getting that video tour done. Sarah and I are meeting with him tomorrow to kind of flush out the details of that on the assumption that you're going to approve this expenditure tonight.
So you guys were all able to see if you went to the walkthroughs, when you would walk a person through who might be skeptical and you take them to a place where the building has a hole in it and water comes in, that they have a much better idea of what you're really talking about. So the more people we can get to look at this and the more people that we can have it reach, this is a good expenditure of money, I would think, or I do think. And again,
Can I-
please, Melissa.
No, I was just gonna say, it was really hard to hear Mark, what Mark said. I caught bits and pieces of it. I don't know if anybody else had a hard time.
Maybe it's not working. He's close to the microphone, but
I didn't hear
I don't
any of
think
it.
it's picking it up. I don't think it's picking up.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
that was just weird silence.
Yes.
He was making it weird. I wasn't making it weird.
Sorry about that. Can you hear it now?
No.
Okay.
Is he sitting behind the computer or back, a little bit farther behind the computer?
He's this far from the microphone. And
I
it's,
don't know why it's not working.
maybe it's not plugged in. Maybe it's not plugged in, right? He's got it plugged in, right?
Plugged in, it's on.
Check, there's a volume piece. So when we use it for our board meetings, Mark, we turn it up almost all the way.
Is that any better?
Can you hear me?
No, we can only hear you through Clayton's laptop.
Right.
Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna have to fool around with it. Sorry. I'll yell.
Okay, so just, I can summarize what Mark said. Mark said that this was money to, it was money to work against, and there may be some more things we asked them to do. And it was a specific request, but we won't spend the 7,500 unless we need to. Okay, given all this, what do you guys think? So when I say, what do you guys think? I'm gonna be looking for action.
I'll make a motion to approve not more than $7,500 for this project.
Okay, to Truist Collins. All right, I got a second from Molly. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a question. Does everybody approve of the $7,500 as a retainer for Truist Collins and specifically for this publicity action? Signify by saying aye.
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 That's fine. Okay, thank you. I forgot to have added to the agenda the other thing I wanted to talk about, which means we can't talk about it. So I'll be in touch individually. Past that, I've no further action. Is there public? If there's any public that would like to make some input, please feel free. There's nobody from the public. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Melissa. I'll take a second, please.
I'll second, Tim.
There we go. Okay. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
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 I'll be in touch.